Alright, so this new TikTok girl has definitely lost her mind beyond belief. I didn't know if I'd be able to make another one of these story times, but I guess I am. Hope you guys enjoy this. Let's just jump into it. So if you're not caught up to speed on this whole thing, I'll leave a link to a playlist below of all the TikTok girl story times. But basically there's this girl, this new girl, that's been very, very eager to stop me from making any kind of YouTube story time videos regarding anything to do with her. And even though she keeps coming around and doing crazy shit that's very, very video worthy. So today's another one, I guess. So this morning, I wake up like any other normal day, very late in the day. It was definitely past noon. And I'm sitting in my bed scrolling on my phone, just going through Twitter, checking my social medias and shit. And I get an email on my business email from a random email address that was like clearly just made. It was like along the lines of, random letters and random numbers and shit. And it says, "Hey, Austin, it's me." And she says her name, and I immediately know who it is. And she's like, that new TikTok girl you keep making videos about? Yeah, this email is about those videos. I'd like to meet in person and have a talk with you about those videos and have a civil discussion this time. Not any threatening, nothing like that. Just a civil discussion. Now, based on this girl's, history the last couple times, she's not very civil. So I ignored it, naturally. And I went on with my day because I didn't trust her. Her idea of a civil discussion is probably taking me into a van and driving me out in the middle of nowhere and then chopping off my arms and legs. That's probably what her idea of a civil discussion is. So yeah, I ignored her, naturally. So anyway, after I ignored this email, I go on with my day thinking that, that would be the extent of the craziness. And then later on in the day, about, a few hours ago, I went out to go do some shopping because I needed some clothes, needed some food as well. So I went out, got some clothes from the mall, got some groceries at the grocery store, and when I got back to my house, as I got out of my car, I looked around real quick, because this girl knows where I live. So I had to make sure she wasn't just, camping out in my driveway or something waiting for me. So, I took a quick look around, I didn't see anything. I'm like, okay, good, she's not here. I go inside, and I start unloading my things, and, just getting ready to just kind of relax the rest of the night. And then 30 minutes after I get home, of course, I get a knock on my front fucking door, as usual, and I go downstairs, and I see her standing there. And this isn't like the other times. Usually I get a knock on my front door, and I know it's going to be problems, but I still open it. This time I looked at her right through my door, like she could see me through the glass, and I just laughed and turned around and walked away. I was not dealing with this shit today. Not today. Just done with this shit. And she was mad. I could hear her yelling through the door, "Austin, come back! Come back!" And I ignored her, and I went back upstairs to just chill out in my room. And I shit you not, this girl stood at my door, continuing to knock for like 30 minutes straight. And it got to a point where I really only had two choices. I could either open the door and deal with her bullshit, or ignore her until she finally goes away, which could take, at this point, hours, because she was not giving up. She was persistent as fuck. So, I just decided, okay, she can't go that much longer. Like, maybe 20 more minutes at most, but she'll have to leave at some point. So I wait, and another 30 minutes goes by, and she's still knocking. It gets to a point where my neighbor calls me on my phone, and is like, "Austin, there is someone at your door who will not leave. Do you want me to call the police?" Now, I really didn't want to call the cops, just because I didn't want it to be escalated into this huge ordeal, but at the same time, I don't know what other option I have. So I tell her, "Okay, listen, I'm going to talk to her real quick. Don't worry about calling the police. If I need to, I will, okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, no problem. I was just checking in, making sure you were okay." I'm like, "Yeah, thank you." So I hang up with my neighbor. I go downstairs, and I open the door, and this fucking girl is standing there staring at me with a dirty look. And she goes, "Do you know how long I've been knocking?" I was like, "Yeah, like a fucking hour. Do you give up?" And she's like, "No, I don't. I need to talk to you, Austin." I'm like, "I don't have anything to talk about. What do you want?" And she goes, "I want you to stop making videos about my friend, about me. Just stop." And I was like, "Yeah, and I want you to leave me the fuck alone. Don't you realize that if you do that, there won't be any more videos? If you leave me alone, there will never be another video again. But if you keep showing up to my door and making all this storytime worthy content for me, I'm going to have to keep making videos about it. It's hard not to." And she was like, "I don't want that." I was like, "Yeah, me neither. So please, turn around, get in your car, fuck off for eternity, and you'll never have to worry about me again." And she goes, "Well, I want the other ones deleted too." I was like, "That's not happening." She goes, "Oh yeah? What if I offer you something?" I was like, "No, I'm not taking anything from you. Just go." And she's like, "Are you sure?" And she opens up her purse and pulls out a wad of money. It must have been no joke, a few $1,000s or something. And she hands it to me and she goes, "There, take that, delete the videos for it." And I was like, are you really trying to bribe me right now? And she goes, yeah, did it work? I'm like, no. And I hand the money back to her, and she gets pissed. She's like, Austin, I'm done fucking around. Like, can you please just level with me here? I'm like, I told you, if you just leave and never come back, I'll never make another video. I promise. And she goes, you promise? I was like, yeah. And she goes, no, I want those other videos gone too. I'm like, well, that's not going to happen. You should have thought of that before you stalked my life and showed up to my house and followed me in a car. Like, that's kind of just not okay, you know? So here's the deal. You can either leave me alone forever and I'll never make another video, or you can keep messing with me until the point where you get arrested. And she goes, I've said it before. I have friends in very high places. I won't get arrested. I'm like, oh yeah? Call them then. Tell them what you're doing. And she opens up her phone and calls this dude. I don't know who he is. I don't know how she's related to him, but he was a police officer. And yeah, she pulled out her phone and called him and told him everything, word for word, what happened from like the point that she first met me till now. And he tells her, like, you can't do that. That's stalking. That's wrong. If he calls the police and gets you arrested, I can't help you that much. Like, you need to get out of there right now and leave him alone. That's wrong. And I was just dumbfounded. This girl's whole, like, you know, backup plan of having the cops on her side. Like, I just heard one of them literally tell her she's being a stalker. And it just completely blew up in her face. And after he says that, she just hangs up on him and goes, this isn't over. And she turns around, walks away, gets in her car, and drives off. To the point where I am here making this video and just dumbfounded because I just don't know anymore. Like, this girl has reached new fucking lows. Like, it's insane. Like, even her friend that's a police officer told her she was stalking me and needs to stop. And she still said, this isn't over, and walked away and just made a very dramatic exit. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen now. Hopefully nothing else. Hopefully she just takes my advice and goes off to live her life, you know, happily ever after, and never have to deal with her crazy ass again. But for all I know, she might be back tonight, dressed in all black, ready to kidnap me and feed me to a wolf. You know, I just really don't know at this point. But yeah, guys, if I do get fed to a wolf, hopefully I, you know, make it through and I can tell a story time for you guys, because that would be a really crazy story time. Like, I got ate by a wolf? Like, that'd be pretty crazy. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time. That's pretty much it. I will keep you guys updated on this new TikTok girl saga or whatever the hell this is. And hopefully there isn't anything else to update on, but I will keep you updated. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. I might be streaming on Twitch tonight, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave that first link in the description as well. And yeah, guys, I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Peace out. They leave me out for the dead, and now they know they're fucked. All my texts are unread.